So hi, welcome to my podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Happy Monday.
Monday. Today
Glory's the
starts
one
the
with the
week.
case of the Mondays this week.
I got the depression hoodie on. I'm fucking up. And I didn't even remember it was my depression hoodie. I
You
got
told
into
me
the
that.
call.
You told me that like your desk was still facing the other way on the other side of your room, and you told me that.
At least 3 years ago.
Dude, that was so long ago.
I might have been sitting on the ground. It might have been one of those.
Dude, it was so
in front
long
of the
ago.
bookshelf.
It was just deep seated in my memory, and every time you wear that hoodie, I'm like, is she doing okay today?
Let me just double check. How is your day going?
Let me check in on her. I'll call her after this. Make sure she's doing all right.
You okay? Do I need to call like a wellness check or anything?
Do you have to call your mom to go check on you in your room?
Guys, I'm fine. Jesus Christ.
Just a case of the Mondays. It's a Monday. Crazy case of the Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm stoked for this week. I can't lie. A lot of my friends are home for college break, or for spring break, so everyone's texting me. I just got a new dog, so they all want to fucking meet him. That's the only reason why they want to hang out with me. They don't actually want to see me. It's the dog, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll make them go out to dinner with me too.
Bring dog-friendly dinner.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm like dinner, and then we'll go back to my house, and then you can meet my dog. Not dog first, because then you'll want to leave.
You'll
so
be like, check done.
Yeah, you have to hang out with me, and then you can meet my dog.
Carrot on a stick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So that's fun, and I'm finally seeing Seven Dust for the first time at the end of this week. So that's very exciting shit. Sorry for missing last week. I was at a show, can't lie. And then the scheduling conflicts made it hard to get something put together to record it on another day. So we're here, we're doing 2 weeks smushed into one. Look at that. Lots of shows that I went to. Glory went to one as well. I saw Catch Your Breath, The Funeral Portrait, Archers, and If Not For Me a couple weeks ago. I was very excited for that tour. Big fan of all those bands. I thought I'd never seen Catch Your Breath before, and then I was like, wait a minute. Literally saw them open for Memphis Mayfire right before House of Independence closed for the first time. I was like, damn, I thought this was the first time. I've only seen 3 out of the 4 bands on this bill. And I'm like, nah, I saw all 4. It was a great night. If Not For Me sounded fucking amazing. The Funeral Portrait was fucking fantastic. It was great to finally see them play for longer than 20 minutes because I saw them over the summer, and they had a very quick set that I almost fucking I was sweating balls by the time I got in the venue because I got there so late. I had to run from the parking lot to get to their set in time to not miss it. So to see them play more than 4 songs was awesome. Archers sounded fantastic. It's so crazy to see them crushing stages like this, especially in the direct support slot, going from co-headlining rooms together with other bands to direct support in these 1,000 cap rooms and the sold out fucking tour pretty much across the board is fucking nuts to see. And then Catch Your Breath sounded great. Basically just played 90% of the new record, which is fine by me because I
can't be mad at that.
Really was digging that new record. They played most of the deluxe tracks as well. My only gripe was they played the songs with the features, but they just the feature part, how most of the time because they had a couple of rappers on the record with Echo and Ryan Oakes, and they just had those play because they just had their verses play as the backing track, and and there was no singing or anything like that. Whereas I feel most of the time when there's a feature, the vocalist just picks. I understand it's different. It's not like it was another metal artist on there, and it's just they're just not screaming the part or whatever. I understand rap's a little bit different from metal screaming, but I just was like, come on, there's nothing. But that was literally my only gripe because it kind of took me out of it for a second because I'm like, I love Echo.
Everyone's just kind of standing
there. Yeah, Echo's great, but why is he blasting over the speaker right now? Why is he blasting over the PA and he's not on stage?
Typically what I see if they aren't, because that's not an out of the ordinary thing. I definitely understand it will 100% take you out of kind of the vibe that they've created for a show. But typically what I see is they have it in the background, but it is typically the vocalist that kind of takes over and maybe switches off a little bit to kind of let them the backing track do its work, and then they kind of hop in a little bit, and then it's kind of like a switch off is what I've seen.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of
It was blasting, to be honest with you.
Wow.
But I also understand, it took me out for a second, but I do understand, again, rapping, singing, screaming are all totally different animals. There's a reason why they got features for, you know, the couple of rap parts that are on the record. There's a reason why there's rappers on there as features. It makes sense. Overall, it was a phenomenal show. I was very excited for that tour for a very long time. I'm glad I was able to go. And that tour just wrapped up. So hopefully you people out there listening were able to go as well. It was a phenomenal time. Great package. Gloria and I both went to see Make Them Suffer, Like Moths to Flames, Wind Waker, and Aviana. What a fucking night. Wind Waker,
insane.
fucking nuts. Aviana, phenomenal. Like Moths to Flames, balls to the wall, insane. Make Them Suffer, holy shit. That's my review of the fucking night.
I completely agree, 1-to-1. I mean, it fucked completely. Wind Waker is one of my favorite bands. I think they were top 5 of album of the years last year. Hyperviolence is fucking crazy. I was wearing my Hyperviolence shirt today, but then the wind shifted and I had to put on my hoodie. And I said, "Fuck, I love this band. I need my hoodie." So great fucking band, insane stage performance. Liam sounded incredible. Being able to see them live made me go, "Oh shit, Indy sings there?" Maybe it was still Liam on the album, but seeing Indy pick up a couple of the pieces, a couple of the vocal tracks, kind of like made me go like, "Oh fuck, really? Damn, that's fucking awesome." Shout out Indy, crushed it. Incredible live band. I got to hang out a little bit. It was great. Chris was at the merch stand, so I got to say hi. I took a little picture with him. He was so dope. Didn't get to see Liam. Said hi to Indy for a second. They were on their way out. Aviana was great. Fucking Like Moths to Flames. Holy shit. Seeing them in such a small room, because the last time I saw them was on the Silent Planet tour. That was at the Ritz, North Carolina rally. I think it's the Ritz. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And it was like 3,000 cap, 3 or 4. It's a big ass room, right?
Big room.
And they were, I think, direct support to Silent Planet or whoever.
Yeah, they were third on the bill.
Third on the bill, because because it was them, Silent Planet, and then Devil Wears Prada. Yeah. Okay, just making sure. All the tours are like jumbled in my head right now. So seeing them on that big stage made me go, "Oh, this fucks." But then seeing them in that little tiny ass room where I could basically fucking smell him.
Nuts.
Crazy. Fucking Canal Club is like maybe like 500, maybe 900. No, 500 cap. It's a small fucking room. So seeing that, insane. Make Them Suffer was great. I unfortunately was very sleepy and I had a long day ahead of me the next day, so I only stayed for about half their set. But they were fucking crazy. The crowd was jumping. It was insane to witness. Great show. Massive. First show of the year.
Hell yeah. Especially big shout out to Make Them Suffer. That tour's wrapping up right now. They're in the last little bit. So if it's coming near you, you should absolutely positively go. It's their first headline in quite a while, and it is blowing the fuck out. It is absolutely wild to see them in the same size room headlining that I saw them a few years ago, supporting Bad Omens, which is what initially made me a fan of the band. It was their live performance, because it is just straight chaos. They sounded fucking phenomenal, and I had the best fucking time while they were on stage, honestly. Like I know that Like Moths to Flames is all reliable. They're fucking phenomenal every time they go on stage. I've seen them almost 10 times at this point. And like I just know what I'm getting every single time, because they are, it doesn't matter. I've seen them in 500 cap rooms, I've seen them in fucking arenas, and it's the same energy no matter what. But Make Them Suffer, I only saw them 30-minute support slot. Obviously, they're going to come out with a shitload of energy. So I was unsure what I was going to get, with a whole hour plus headlining set. But I got exactly what I wanted, and it was fucking phenomenal. What a tour. Phenomenal package. Was stoked to finally see Wind Waker and Aviana as well. Overall, just a phenomenal bill. The next night, I was at Fox Teeth and Leisure Hour, their little weekender. That's why we missed the podcast. My bad. Leisure Hour was dope. I feel like I had heard the name floating around, but before this little run came together. But I had never listened to them. I thought they sounded fucking amazing.
That's dope.
And Fox Teeth, finally got to see them with the solidified new lineup that they have, and they sounded great. It was a great night. There were a couple local bands on as well that were like scattered between the two touring bands, and it was a fun night. There was a decent amount of people there for it being a Monday night local show, and it was a good time. It was a good time. And then on Friday, I went to a couple of local gigs in Asbury. I saw my friend Margaret and her band Saint Germain at a brewery, and that was cool. It was a good time. I hadn't been to the new Asbury Park Brewery yet, so I got to go to that finally. I didn't drink, but I was there. Walked in, yeah. Cool spot. And then I went and saw my friend Freddie Rainville. He's doing his one-man band thing. He had his album release. Yeah, he had his album release show for his album One Man Band. There's a movie that went out with it as well, and it was fucking awesome. I have seen videos of him doing the One Man Band thing and heard my friends talking about it, but I've never seen it, and I was already gonna go, and it was just fucking, it was so dope. It was so fucking dope because he gets so into it, like, and it's not just like he's not doing like super slow drum beats. Like, he gets it going and his entire body's moving, sitting in that fucking chair. He's playing the drums, he's singing, and he's playing guitar at the same time. Very talented individual. So yeah, that was fucking awesome. As I mentioned, Saturday I got Seven Dust. Very excited to finally see them. Next Friday, seeing Refused for the first and only time. After that, I got Throne. And that about rounds off my month, so I'm very excited.
I'm so excited for Throne. I got Belmont on Friday, and then I have Throne at the end of the month. I think those are my only shows that I have going for me right now, but I'm very excited. I love Belmont so much, and it's so close. It's like 40 minutes away. You're telling me I don't have to go to another state or go to the fucking capital? This is exciting.
Exciting stuff.
I'm so happy.
Exciting development.
So happy. Yeah, and they're the fucking opener.
Yeah.
I'll probably stay for like a little bit, but I mean, I'm there for Belmont. Like, yeah, it's fucking Belmont. Come on, fucking.
Yeah.
And they have All Bite on the set list. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I haven't looked at the set list. Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I didn't look at the set list because I knew I was skipping out. I took it off my calendar this morning because it's tomorrow in Philly, and I just won't. I'm just not going to be able to make it. I got too many other shows in Philly coming up. And I'm gonna unfortunately have to skip out on this one. It's like my third time in a row missing Belmont, and I will miss them again when they come through with Dance Gavin Dance in Philly. Because
that tour, I gotta look at that tour again.
Because I will be going to a show for a client, and then because there's 2 nights in Philly, a show for a client, and then the Metallica Ice Nine Kills Limp Bizkit tour is also hitting Philly that same night, so I'll be in Philly both nights.
String of words.
Yeah,
that you just said to me.
I'll be in Philly both nights. I just won't be at the Fillmore seeing Belmont and
one of the best bands ever,
and the home team.
I forgot they were on that lineup too. God, I gotta make it to that tour. That's like genuinely like top fucking 20 bands ever for me. Okay, sure. The hell? What
the hell? Sure. We got so much new music to talk about, though. It's unreal. We missed a whole week, and now we're catching up. We're doing 2 weeks. Bing, bang, boom. Punching you in the face left and right. So many new records. Kicking it off. Architects dropped their new album, The Sky, the Earth, and All Between. Oh my God.
Holy fuck. This shit kind of knocked me on my ass a little bit. Going in, I mean, I had high expectations. Every Architects record that's come out has always been memorable, has always been really fucking good. Starting with my original introduction to them, which was 2 albums ago, back in 2020? 2021. It was in the early stages where I was still collecting vinyl. That's how I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that shit, it threw me for a loop. I didn't understand it, and I loved it, and it was so fucking good. It was one of the first metal records that really had me like, holy shit, because it's technical, it's just fun to listen to, it's very versatile, it's fucking awesome. And I do believe the same goes for this record as well. It's still very technical, it still has all of the Architects things that you love, but it feels a lot more polished and feels a lot more matured, and it's just fucking awesome, man. It's confidence in an album. I fucking love it. Sounds incredible. I love all the tracks so much. I think it's a great record. I love Architects. Shout out Architects.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel like they really they kind of had a point to prove after the last record, which left something to be desired pretty much across the board.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't bad, but in the grand scheme of things, looking at Architects, looking at their discography, it's definitely on the weaker end. There are a few songs on that album that I do adore that I still come back to, but overall, if I'm going to go for a modern Architects record, I'm going for the one that you mentioned, which is For Those That Wish to Exist. That's the first album that I got into with them. Or, you know, I'll go for Holy Hell, but that's 2018. That's a little bit deeper in the discography in terms of years, even though they're next to each other in terms of number of studio LP. But this album I had high hopes for from the first single, Seeing Red. I heard that shit. I was like, let's go. It's go
so
time.
back.
We are so back. This song fucking rocks. They kept that going with Curse, and then all of the singles after that. I was so excited for this album. There were 2 singles going like the week of the record, and I was so excited for this record that I listened to both of them. And I was like, I physically couldn't help myself. Even like there was a single Monday and then a single Wednesday, and like, yeah, the album comes out Friday, but this is one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year, so I need to know what it sounds like. The opening track sets the tone. I think it's a phenomenal fucking opener. The closer, Chandelier, is a very nice closer. It's the most atmospheric, weird, slow track on the album. And it's the only track like that. The only other track that's on the slower side is Everything Ends, but that's honestly one of my favorites. I think Architects really crushes the like middle of the road kind of song on a metalcore record, where it's not super heavy. It more leans on the emotion and the lyrics to be heavy versus the actual instrumentals. I think they crush that type of song just across the board, and this is no exception. But my favorites are Landmines and Judgment Day. Those two back to back are phenomenal. So bouncy. I love Landmines because of the super bouncy riff. It really gets me going. And Judgment Day, I saw that Amira Elsky feature when the album was announced, and I was like, she's super dope. I think she's a fantastic artist, but I'm like, how is she going to fit on an Architects record? Because her music is very, it will get heavy instrumentally, but her vocals kind of stay in that atmospheric, like haunting type of lane. And I was like, I wonder how they're going to utilize that. And I think they did it perfectly. This song gives you a bit of a different feeling than the rest, because a lot of these songs are just straight up ass beaters. That's what this record is pretty much across the board. But there's a couple of songs here and there that evoke different types of emotions, and this is one of them. I think her vocals are such a phenomenal addition to this song, and it really wouldn't, this song wouldn't have been nailed without her or someone like her type of vocal on here. And I think she's an incredible addition for sure. But I'm glad that I came away, enjoying, like, with favorites that weren't the singles, because I've spent so much time with these, and a lot of the singles were some of the best songs on the record. But I do think that Landmines and Judgment Day are don't sleep on those. They're fucking phenomenal. Evil Eyes as well. Brain Dead with House of Protection is nuts. It's crazy to see how big that band is getting so quickly. Curse, Seeing Red. I could name the entire record. I have been jamming this a shitload. The only thing that made me stop was the Spiritbox album, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm really excited about this. They just announced a massive UK and EU tour, arenas at the later this year, with support from Wage War, which is fucking phenomenal. So I'm jealous as shit. And I'm hoping for a US tour sometime soon. It's been too long. Come back.
Come home.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's not home, but come here.
It's our home.
Yeah. Come to my
country.
house.
Please. Yeah. No, it's a fucking crazy ass record. I'm happy you mentioned Landmines, because that was one of my favorites. And then Curse is still, it was a single, but goddamn, every time it comes on when I was listening to the record, and then I did revisit it a couple times when it was a single. I think it just came up in like radio, or maybe I put it in a playlist somewhere, but every time it would come on I'd be like, fuck yeah, I fucking love this track. So those are my two favorites.
Oh yeah.
Eric Bass presents his new record, I Had a Name.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The name kind of messed my flow up. Did you see that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, because the name kind of throws me off. I only put in the title Eric Bass because that's also, we had Eric on the podcast to chat. It was a phenomenal conversation, one of the last ones we had last year at the very end of last year. And yeah, the name kind of throws me off. But it's cool. That's okay.
We'll let it slide.
Yeah, the name aside, the album is so awesome. Getting to chat with Eric about this, I kind of forgot what the conversation was about until I started listening to the record again and realizing the concepts, on my whatever listen of this, a second or third listen to this record, knowing now all of what I knew about it. We really dove deep into everything about the album and the concept and the characters and everything. We just dove head first. I mean, the interview's over an hour long. We touched on a lot. That got my wheels turning, starting to hear the characters' names and all that shit. And it's just the amount of work that went into this record, knowing how long he sat on it for. I'm so glad it's finally out. It's such an interesting listen because, like, he's one of the main songwriters in Shinedown, his main band, and Shinedown is a band where you know what you're gonna get. They're gonna pick from a few different sounds, and that's what you get with Shinedown. There's nothing wrong with that. They're a phenomenal band, and I've been fucking with a lot of Shinedown actually recently. Those couple of new songs, I've been jamming with them. But like I've started to pick up on all the different things that Shinedown does, but it all kind of falls into the same general umbrella. Like what you're getting is what you get. All reliable in that sense. Like if you're a fan of Shinedown, if you're a fan of Shinedown, you're probably gonna like whatever they do next. And there's nothing wrong with that. As I said, phenomenal band. But this is so out of left field. It's like, didn't even know that he could do this kind of shit. That's how out of left field it is, and that's what I love about it. I think I said it at the very end of the interview when he asked, like, what have we been listening to, and I asked him if he knew the band Avatar, and he mentioned that he was familiar but hadn't really listened, because that's really, like, that's the vibe I get from this, that kind of theatrical chaos in a way. Like, Good Night is really the song for me that made me feel that way, because it almost feels like the vocal delivery is that of what I would hear from Avatar, and even just like the chanting part of like the Good Night, the way it's delivered, and then Mind Control, which is one of my favorite songs on the record, kind of just feeds into that. I think the record is phenomenal. It's, as I said, it's so out of left field, but there's so many really cool pieces, and it's such a cool full album listen. He did a great job of really curating an experience that you have to start from beginning to end, because there's a story, and if you kind of know what you're looking for, at least for me, that's how I need to enjoy the concept records. I need to know that there's something there for me to be able to pick up on it, because I'm not always the one listening super closely to the lyrics. Knowing that there was something there, I was listening very intently and picking up on the story, and I think it's fucking phenomenal. I love it.
I completely agree. Because of the interview we did, the second listen around, I was definitely listening a lot closer. And I was able to pick up, I was able to follow loosely. Because I know the album isn't a direct one-to-one because there's a book.
Yeah.
There's
So
a
much.
fucking book.
So much.
Or a comic. It's literature
Yeah.
of some sort, to go along with the album, to go along with the storyline. Um, I know it's not a one-to-one. I know it's kind of like the characters and kind of like scenes
Mhm.
versus kind of just a very thorough story that we're following with it. But because I was aware of it, I was able to feel all the emotions that he was trying to convey and kind of place myself in whatever shoes the character he was showing us was experiencing. Damn, that was so fucked up. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Um, I think it's a great record. Something that I really liked about it was that it's very, um, I feel like smorgasbord is like the wrong word, but it's very diverse
Mhm.
sound wise. There are a lot of different little bells and whistles on it. There are a lot of different ear candies. And because it's a concept record, I feel like that also adds another layer of this is just fucking fun to listen to. When we were talking, you brought up that at the end of the interview when we were talking about bands that we're listening to, you mentioned Avatar, and I remember I mentioned, oh, who would fucking get Don Broco? Um, and I remember saying the reason I really liked this record was because it reminded me of my introduction to Don Broco, which was Amazing Things, because it caught me off guard. The first listening to fucking Gum Shield,
Yeah.
there's just so much
Great
happening,
song.
and it's just don't get me started. Don't get me. I will revert back to that. It's probably going. You're probably going to see something happen. That's typically how it goes. But it reminded me. Listening to this record gave me kind of that same feeling because it is. Now, you're not going to go into this record. Don't go into this record expecting Amazing Things or Amazing Things, the album by Don
Yeah.
Broco, or kind of like that genre
Mhm.
because it's not, but it's kind of just the same approach, I guess, to music where it's a lot of things happening, but it's very cohesive and it catches your ear.
Mhm.
And that's what I like about it a lot. It's artistic, it's fun, and you're able to follow whatever storyline. I really like this record a lot. And I agree, Mind Control fucks. And then also I think it was New Graves. New
Yeah.
Graves is also really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite is that 3-track run of Good Night, Mind Control, and New Graves. Overall, fucking phenomenal. Very glad it's finally out here. Would love to see this transformed live at some point. I don't know if that's ever in the cards, but would be dope. Just throwing that out there.
It's probably gonna be a fucking movie, a comic book, a TV show with his brain. Fuck yeah, man. I'm sure it'll get on a stage somewhere.
Yeah,
Fucking now imagine a theater production of this shit. Come on.
crazy.
Come on, get me on the team, Eric. Get me on the team.
you're giving him ideas.
Uh-huh.
Rebecca Black dropped her new album Salvation. I just want to throw it out there before this even starts. She announced she's supporting fucking Katy Perry. That is nuts. I sent it to Gloria. I'm like, I will be there.
100%. Yeah. I wish I'm gonna be so real. I kind of forgot about Katy Perry, but the fact that Rebecca Black is supporting her, it feels like such a full circle thing.
Mhm.
Because when Rebecca Black had her first kind of like boom with Friday,
Yeah.
obviously, it was in that era of like Dark Horse,
When Katy
Thank God
Perry
It's
was on top.
Friday. She was on top. So
Yeah.
it just feels like such a early 2010s tour that someone would have like joked about where it's like, guys, she should bring Rebecca Black on her Pink Friday. Nope, that's Nicki Minaj. The fucking Teenage Dream tour or whatever the fuck it was. But like as a joke because Friday was big and it's a fucking awful song. Sorry, Rebecca. She knows. She knows. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure like her new version of it's great because she can like sing now.
Yeah.
Oops. But it's so fucking crazy. That's all I'm trying to say here.
And that's kind of why I want to go is like that nostalgia. Like it makes me remember that time in my life because you know I was listening to the radio at that time. Katy Perry was one of those
Can't
people
get
that
away
was
from her.
consistently on the radio. I obviously
Yeah.
knew Friday. It's honestly like I saw the Katy Perry tour go up. I'm like, it would be funny if I went. And then she got announced as support. I'm like, I think I have that day free. I might go. It'll be a fantastic buffer in between My Chemical Romance New Jersey and My Chemical Romance Philly.
I forgot Mike had announced their fucking tour. I'm gonna be so real. That's very exciting again.
Yeah.
They're not coming anywhere near me, so you.
I'll send you videos.
Then again, they aren't dropping anything. It's fucking. Oh, now I'm mad again. It's a fucking Black Parade tour, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck that tour. Fuck you. To it. Fuck My Chemical Romance. I hate that tour. Sorry.
All right. On that note, we like to check in with what Rebecca Black is doing. We don't cover the singles, but when she puts out a new project, we always like to check in and see what she's doing, because she was such a big part of our culture growing up. So it's cool to see what she's doing. So we checked in on the previous projects. Always think they're super awesome. She's done some more alt-leaning stuff, some more pop-leaning stuff. This is very much a product of late 2024, early 2025, exactly what the pop world sounds like.
It is hyper pop.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be completely honest, and I don't want this to come off as like a negative thing, because obviously she's one of the biggest fucking pop artists right now. To me, this just sounds like a heavily influenced by Brat, by Charlie XCX.
I thought the same thing.
Exactly,
yeah.
But it kind of has more of the alternative kick to it. Because for me, Brat couldn't get into it. I like 360. I like Guess featuring Billie Eilish. It's about all I got. But this record is a lot more palatable for me, because it's not as. This is my issue with Brat is it's too empty. It's too hollow for me sound wise. I feel like there aren't enough things going on for my brain to be fully enjoying it, where with this record it feels full, and there are different layers to it, and it's like it has just like thickness in it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just it
makes sense.
I could still give Brat its flowers, because obviously it's doing a lot for the music industry right now. I could hear the influence in this, and without Brat, Salvation, in my opinion, I wouldn't have that stepping stone for it, so I wouldn't be able to connect with it as well as I do right now. But I think this record's fucking awesome. I think she nailed it, and I think that this is an awesome sound for her. I don't know, it's sassy, it has a lot of alternative moments in it, but it still has kind of like that not hyper pop, what is it? It's like nightclub pop?
Yeah, like the dance pop.
Club pop, I think is what it's called. I don't know. Again, I'm not there. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. Stop yelling at me. But I think it's fucking awesome. My favorite track is American Doll. I think that song's fucking awesome, and I love how it ends on the little cliffhanger of she's not going to say American Doll, but you could hear. I love when songs do that, where it's like you have to finish the thought because the song is over, and you've gotten so used to the chorus that it's like it like leaves you hanging. Fucking love that shit. Trust is also incredible, and then also Twist the Knife is insane. I really just enjoyed the whole record. I think that this is just such a good sound for her, and it fits her so well. I'm very excited, very, very passionate about this album, honestly. All first listen.
Yeah.
So, good job, Rebecca.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the one thing I always, enjoy about Rebecca is she's definitely in the pop world, but she has enough alternative influence that it ties into what we overall cover, although we cover pop here and there. We're able to shoehorn it in, other than just she was a big part of what when we were growing up, so we're just going to cover it for the fuck of it. But there's actually, it makes sense genre wise, kind of, sort of.
She still loops in.
Yeah, and it continues with this record. I mean, I should have known what to expect when I saw TikTok clips of her doing a Boiler Room set, because
Really?
Charlie XCX did one, and
That's so fun.
and then I saw Rebecca Black doing one as well. And I don't follow any of that shit. I really don't follow what any of these people are doing. It's just I saw
Just
it
in
on.
general,
I just saw it on
Twitter.
I saw it on TikTok, and I'm like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Music, TikTok algorithm thinks I want to see this. I'll watch it. Whatever. It's cool.
Music, TikTok,
yeah.
I mean, I guess
Music, TikTok, Charlie XCX sounds kind of cool. Sure. Rebecca Black. Fuck yeah. So I saw that, and I should have known what to expect. And then the album started with Salvation. I'm like, so that's what she's doing.
Like, oh,
Gotcha.
Okay.
I
Okay.
clocked it. I know exactly what the rest of this record's going to sound like. I could review it right now and not have to hear anything else. But I did listen to the entire thing, and I do think it's really awesome. I do, really appreciate what Charlie is doing for pop music. I think she kind of, revitalized it and did something new and fresh, which is, something that you don't always see in pop. There's other pop stars like the Tate McRae's and things like that are, reviving 2000s pop, which is also phenomenal, and then perfectly scratches the nostalgia itch for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. We didn't cover her new record, but it was fucking phenomenal. So then you got something a little bit more, that
really passionate about that. I'm so happy for you. Like there was like light in your eyes that I haven't seen in a while.
We didn't cover the Tate McRae record because it would have been in this episode, but we had so much to talk about already, and it was like, whatever. I'll just cover it. I'll just listen to it in my free time. It's not something that I need to put on the playlist to check out. I'm gonna go out of my way to listen to it. Spent a lot of money on those tickets for the show in September. I will listen to the album. But Charlie and by extension Rebecca have started taken the dance elements and the club elements and influenced them with pieces of pop and things like that. It's very new, it's very fresh, it's very interesting, and I like that. I like what she's doing, I like what Rebecca's doing, and I think that this album is fucking phenomenal. As you said, there is no denying the influence that very clearly comes through on this album, which is why we keep bringing up Charlie. It is no offense to anybody, it is just very obvious if you have listened to pop music in the last year what is going on in this album.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is a phenomenal listen. I listened to it at like 9 a.m. this morning, half asleep.
Fucking jazzed now. Yeah.
And it made me want to get up and start dancing. I didn't, but it made me think about it. That's for sure. It got me out of bed. It got me out of bed shortly after that. The album ended, and then I was like, I should probably get up now. So it's got that for it. I like the opener. It obviously set the tone. I'm a big fan of American Doll as well, and Twist the Knife, and Do You Even Think About Me. It's phenomenal. It's only 7 tracks, but I do think it gets in. It doesn't overstay its welcome, but it really does what it came here to do. Gets in, gets out. As I said at the beginning, she's going on tour with Katy Perry, which is fucking amazing, because Rebecca really has had a resurgence. Watching her grow. We started covering her, since she kind of revived her artist career, and watching her grow, like 500 cap rooms to 1,000 cap rooms to now going on tour supporting Katy Perry in arenas is wild. And
bonkers.
I'll probably be there. I need a nostalgia trip or 2 or 5, so I'll probably be there. I'll be honest with you. And if it's coming near you, I would recommend you go. Arena pop shows always blow me away with the production, so that's part of why I go.
Because it's just fun.
Yeah.
Whether you know all the songs or not. It's just like, damn, what the fuck? She's floating. She's like flying across the crowd right now. I didn't know you could do that. Because we're so used to. Because I feel like. Ooh, hot take. I feel like compared to pop shows, metal shows can be boring.
It's more about the music than what's going on stage.
Exactly. But guys, we can have a little pop influence. Let me see fucking Silent Planet Garrett, float across the fucking crowd. I want to see him do a couple backflips in the air. That'd be fucking awesome. I think metal could definitely not profit, fucking learn and grow if they did take some
so much money though.
So much, and that's the thing that none of us have.
Yeah.
So now I understand it. You know what, guys? Let's stay the same. No one go bankrupt. We're good.
Yeah.
we're good. Keep going back to back with your guitar riffs and all that shit.
So badass. I love it. So I'll be there every fucking time.
I eat it up every time. Yeah. I'm still good with that. Spiritbox dropped their new album, Tsunami Sea.
Yes, they did.
This, let me get my 5 words out, okay, because I know this is one of your most anticipated records since it was announced. This is my first. Well, no, we reviewed Eternal Blue, and then we reviewed the EP that they dropped in the middle of Eternal Blue to this one. But honestly, Eternal Blue, I don't remember much. I just remember that everyone fucking loved it. I listened to it and I went, this is fine. And I like haven't revisited it. To be completely honest, I haven't. So with this record, I kind of took it as an opportunity to reintroduce myself to Spiritbox now that I am already kind of desensitized to metal. Not desensitized, because that makes it feel like it's not a thing that I want. I love metal. I love metal. So now that I really enjoy the genre, I wanted to go into this with kind of an open mind. This is my new introduction to Spiritbox. I'm a changed woman. Um, and holy fuck, this album is incredible. Every single track is a fucking ass beater. Soft Spine is still one of my favorite tracks off of it. I think it's fucking crazy. I think the title track is fucking crazy. I think Ride the Wave is crazy. No Loss, No Love, another single that they dropped. Honestly, that is probably one of my favorite tracks off of there as well. It is a very cohesive, easy to listen to, just beautiful record. It blows me away every single time I fucking think about it. I'm gonna be so real. I got into a couple more of their other singles just from past records, just listening to Spotify radio, and I've added a lot of them to my liked songs because I'm like, fuck, why haven't I been into them before? Like, all of these songs are incredible.
Mhm.
So I think my brain is finally ready for Spiritbox, and I'm so excited because they're such a great band. Um, I think Courtney LaPlante is one of the best vocalists, metal vocalists, just in general right now. Um, I'm very excited, and this is huge. This is huge. So I like it a lot, but now go ahead.
Well, real quick, listen to the first 3 songs off Eternal Blue. One of the best 3-track runs ever, hands down.
Okay.
That's not even a hot take. If you disagree with me, that's too bad.
You're
listeners.
wrong.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
phenomenal 3-track run. This album, incredible. Absolutely phenomenal. As I said, one of my most anticipated releases of the year. Or as Glory said, honestly, I said it in the review that went out today, Monday, the throwback review, the Fall Out Boy one.
Eating out your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, because I had to listen to that album Friday morning instead of this right away. But I have one small gripe, and it's nothing to do with the album itself, and it has everything to do with the rollout.
Okay.
The album itself is overall heavy. That's absolutely, they're a metalcore band. That's just what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But the straight up ass beater tracks, most of them were singles. There are plenty of heavy riffs throughout the album, and I kind of kept it in the back. I kept it in the back of my mind because the rollout with the last record was kind of the same way, where it's like a lot of the ass beaters were out there already, and then the rest of the tracks were a little bit more of that atmospheric type of vibe with heavy riffs, but not like super ass beater across the board. And that was kind of my initial like, do I really like this band, or do I just like the singles? I like the band, obviously. I think Eternal Blue is fucking phenomenal, and it quickly grew on me. So I kept that in the back of my mind, and Perfect Soul was the fantastic kind of middle ground between Soft Spine and No Loss No Love. But No Loss No Love and Soft Spine kind of lead on to make you think that this album is going to be a lot heavier and straight up ass beater, not heavier, just straight up ass beaters across the board than there really are. Really, the only other song, in my opinion, that is just a straight up ass beater is the first track, Fata Morgana. I think that's how you say it. And I love that song. I love the way it opens the record. I think that Spiritbox does their openers fantastic. They really set the tone for what you're gonna get. And I love to be kicked in the teeth right away. I think the Black Rainbow right after that is fantastic, and it's a great 1-2 punch. Perfect Soul levels you out right away. So I think the beginning of the album is awesome. Crystal Roses is a little bit different. It's like very heavily like auto-tuned on Courtney's voice, but I think that it creates a super unique track, and is one of my favorites for that reason. Tsunami Sea, the title track, is awesome. Deep End wound up being about their former bassist Bill, who passed away. It wasn't written about him; it was written before he passed away. But Courtney has since said that that track kind of took form and became about him after his passing, and it kind of I read that right before hearing that track, and it instantly changed the way I look at that track, and I think it's, you know, a really powerful closer. Now knowing that little tidbit of information about the song, that's not to mention the song already being a super powerful closer, but knowing that little bit about it pushes it over the edge.
Sure.
Across the board, all bangers. My favorites are still Soft Spine, No Loss, No Love, and the opening track, because I love being pummeled in the fucking face. But across the board, this album is phenomenal. I hands down, love it so much. I'm glad I came away loving it, because I ordered the vinyl from Target on Friday before we did the review, so before I had heard the album for the first time. And I was like, oh, I hope I like it. Because I'm gonna go.
You know that doesn't impact anything, because you ordered like fucking 5-6 vinyls of Greatest Hits by Water Park. So you didn't like that record, but you learned to love it.
I had 20 copies, and I was like, Gloria, I don't think I like the album. And you were like,
wait, are you joking?
I bought all the variants.
You actually
remember?
have 20?
Yeah, I lost count. I have so many. But I had all the vinyls sitting there, and I heard the album for the first time. And you're like, you're gonna have to listen to it again, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
You just, because I wasn't. I was like, but I didn't commit. I have one variant.
Yeah.
20.
Spiritbox, they're going on a U.S. tour. Headline kicks off next month. Limited tickets are left. You should go. I will personally be at the Philly show, New Jersey. I won't be able to make, because the goddamn used residency playing the first 3 albums in full.
You up so many times. This is like the 5th show where you're like, I can't go. The used is playing.
But this one, but luckily this one, because I was going to do New York City, but that also conflicts. Because I like the room that they're playing in New York City. But luckily this tour, I was able to find a date that worked for me and make everything work. But there has been so many that have been conflicted because of this goddamn
like
used.
3. Genuinely, yeah.
This better be the best 3 shows of my life. I'm just putting that out there. No pressure to used.
Can I say something like...
They've only genuinely disappointed me one time, and I've seen them.
They've only disappointed me one time, and I've only seen them once. So I think that's why I'm a little sour.
Yeah, they've only really genuinely disappointed me one time, but to get to hear those 3 records in full will be worth it. The tour,
you can always just listen to it on Spotify.
Yes, but I've seen them live. The tour package for that Spiritbox tour is phenomenal. You got Loathe, Gel, and Dying Wish. What a lineup. I am most excited to see Dying Wish again, because I love them, but their headlines are always like wacky. Like a lot of the tours that they come through on where it's like just them, that I'm excited about, kind of conflict for me, and I'm like, I don't want to make the trip just to see them. So they're going to be there, and I am so excited because I love both those bands so much. Finally get to see Loathe and Gel, which will be fantastic.
Loathe.
And Spiritbox will be touring the rest of the year. They got some dates with Linkin Park overseas, so they're going to be busy. I'm sure of it. But the headline's the first thing up.
Hells yeah, that's fucking hype. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Whitechapel dropped their new album, Hymns in Dissonance. Big respect to Whitechapel for dropping the same week as Spiritbox.
Yeah. I feel like there's like, maybe there is some overlap, but it is so not like the same genre.
It's not. This is
like the same neighborhood. Yeah. You know,
they exist in the same subgenre, same overall genre, but 2 totally different subgenres for sure. Whitechapel is a lot heavier, but for me personally,
it's just like a little.
Yeah, but for me personally, I know that, you know, I'm one of the people that would have checked out both records. I finally got around to this, obviously, but Spiritbox right away, boom. But this album should not be slept on if you have been spending a shitload of time with the Spiritbox record and also enjoy some Whitechapel, or maybe just enjoy deathcore but haven't listened to Whitechapel for some reason. You should, because it's just straight up ass beaters. I love the way it opens with Prisoner 666 because of that call out.
It does fuck. Yeah, the call out fucks.
The call out to start it. I love it. It gave me, it was very reminiscent of like 2010s metalcore, where like the album would open just screaming the song name. I love that shit. I eat it up. And it's just it just pummels the shit out of you like that, and that's what I'm here for. When I turn on a Whitechapel record, that's exactly what I want. There's a small interlude in the middle, Ex Infernus, which really doesn't take away the vibe. If anything, it does a fantastic job of bridging the gap between A Visceral Wretch and Hate Cult Ritual, because those songs are kind of like on two different planes, and that interlude really is important, I feel, to kind of link those two songs together, because it kind of just feels like one continuous song, which I think is dope. I had to look and be like, is that a separate song or was that an interlude? Like, what the fuck is going on? Because I was like, damn, like this has been going on for a while. Where am I?
What's happening right now?
Yeah, such a phenomenal record. Hymns and Dissonance, I love that track. A Visceral Wretch, not to call out a single, was phenomenal. And The Abysmal Gospel is great as well. And I like that song because it's got a little bit of like, it's got a little bit more, like all the songs are structured, obviously, but this one's got like a bit of cleans. They're like, I can very clearly see what the chorus is in the song, and I've said on here before, as much as I love deathcore, I more so gravitate towards metalcore because I like to kind of understand what's being said, and you don't get that for most of this record, and that's fine. It kicks ass, and I'm definitely going to spend more time with this. And I'm debating maybe going to see them in Jersey, but it's like right in between that Refused and Throne show, so I don't know if I'm going to want to take the day or not. But I like that song because it's got like that kind of not a clean chorus in the scope of this album.
Yeah, in the context of a fucking deathcore record, clean
chorus. I can kind of understand what's being said. Overall, phenomenal.
You can kind of get it, you know? No, I think the record is incredible. I am not one to listen to deathcore, so this record was already kind of, I saw it and I went, Whitechapel. I know Whitechapel. I already knew what to expect. I already knew kind of what I was getting into. I think for a deathcore record, it's incredible. I think you fucking nailed it on the head. The opener, that fucking call out grabbed my attention immediately because I just love shit like that. I love angry call outs, and they're just fucking pissed. Now, about what? Couldn't tell you, but I know what I'm supposed to say when they tell me to say it, so I can follow along with that. I think it's just a fucking ass beater. It's definitely going to be one of the records that I gravitate towards if I'm feeling a little angry and I just want someone just screaming in my ear nonstop. Fucking solid as hell. Yeah, scary ass record. You know, fuck, I'm pulling a 2020. Scary record, not my typical genre, but I could put some respect to it. Instrumentals were great. If you really want me to fall back completely on what I would say in 2020.
We're regressing all the way back with that one.
The drums were really, really cool. Yeah. But they were, though. I was on to something, because they always have that fucking double kick.
Yeah.
Or some, just a fucking rapid ass. So you know what? Drums were fucking crazy.
They were sick. Hell
drums
yeah.
were fucking crazy.
Yeah. As I said, going on a headline tour, kicks off next week, I think. If it's coming near you, definitely go. Whitechapel's fantastic live. I saw them at the tail end of last year. Direct support to Lorna Shore. Highly, highly recommend.
Swag. Hell yeah. Ooh. Damn, is it 2020? Ryan Oakes dropped his new album, Opus. Hell yeah.
I love that title.
Opus. It's not magnum opus, it's just Opus. This record is great. I mean, Ryan Oakes has been consistently dropping a shit ton of singles since we first found him with the Loveless feature, which we both heavyweight. Oh, you better watch. Oh my god, holy shit. God, it's so good. So going into this record, I kind of already knew this is gonna be good, and it did not disappoint. I think it's incredible. My only gripe is because we do get Ryan Oakes kind of at taster levels, I guess, where it's just kind of like one song every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's every month we're talking about him, every 28 days.
Exactly. He's always coming up. So I think because we get him at a taster level, it never really occurred to me how frequently his topic on his songs is kind of like a, I'm gonna prove myself, fuck you guys, I deserve this type of thing. And I think honestly, like, every artist ever should probably have a song like that, because I do feel like, yeah, fuck, you should, prove yourself.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. Because if this is something you really want to do, fucking stand up for yourself and show like, I want this and this is what I want to do. Regardless of what anyone else fucking says. I love those types of messages. But I think because the first half of the record was kind of like all of those songs back to back to back, I almost had like almost palette fatigue with it, because it was like it was such a frequent topic on
Mhm.
the record. Again, it sounds great, but it was just kind of like I get it.
Yeah.
You know? Um, I think obviously he covered other topics on the record, but because that was the most frequent topic, the one that I was able to pick up on the most, because it's very loud and straightforward, because he's literally just saying like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna fucking win and I'm gonna be rich and shit. And I'm like, hell yeah, Ryan, fuck yeah, you are.
Oh yeah.
But because it was just like back to back to back for the first half of the record, as I said, I kind of just got like palate fatigue, ear fatigue. I don't know. Palate fatigue is when you eat, but whatever. We
Yeah.
always use eating metaphors with music anyway, so I don't give a fuck. Um, Other than that, I think it's a great record. I still really appreciate just kind of the early 2000s influence he has on it, with kind of just that era of rap. I think it's fun. I think it is a great fusion of kind of like the alternative rap. I still really like fuck. Oh my God, I had it. I still really like Angels Like Me, because that was the one that really reminds me of the early 2000s, just when you would have a singer and a rapper on the same track, and it was just very nostalgic for me. I
Yeah.
still really like that track a lot. um I think fucking Suicidal Thoughts featuring Chrissy Costanza from Against the Current is incredible, and I still really like, oh well, I like Celebration a lot.
Yeah.
So again, great record, solid tracks all the way through. That's just my one gripe.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. I kind of was okay with it, because I feel like that's kind of the vibe that was being gone for this album, is kind of like, watching from the outside, watching all the success that he's had, especially like over the last year or so. Lots of great tours, did headlining, went over to the UK for the first time, all these crazy things. It's kind of like, I'm gonna make it and also look at all of what I've done over the last little bit. It like almost makes sense. And then calling the album Opus, which is why I was like, that's such a great album title, because it is kind of like putting a big word on a body of work, and I like that. I like the balls of that. So I didn't have any sort of problem with it, because it's kind of what I expected going into it, just knowing the title. Obviously have heard most of these songs already. Wasn't a huge problem for me, but he always knocks it out of the park. I love, as you said, like the early 2000s rap influence with, meshed with the alternative, some metal-ish type influences. Some tracks are heavier, some tracks are more alternative, some are just straight up rap. I always enjoy that, because you never really know what you're going to get. But I prefer the way that this album was track listed to the last one, because I remember the last record was also a majority of the singles, but it was front loaded with all the singles, and then the songs we hadn't heard were towards the end, and there were a lot more singles this time around on the record. But it was more so, it opened with tracks you hadn't heard yet, and then kind of trickled down to like Suicidal Thoughts is like the song I think of this era. So like to cap off the record with that versus like opening with it, I respect it. I liked the way it flowed a little bit more. It didn't just feel like the way the singles came out, which is kind of how it felt last time. Really enjoyed Celebration as the opener. Nothing Left to Lose is such a bouncy, fun track. I really like that song. Comeback Kid is fucking dope, and Suicidal Thoughts with Chrissy Costanza is phenomenal. I think that she really complements that song very well, and is not only the song I think of with this era of Ryan Oakes, but also probably my favorite from this era. overall a very solid record. He continues to not disappoint. I was looking at his discography. It's crazy to see an album come out every fucking year, but he just continues to do it, and it's mind-boggling. He's going on tour. Dates are somewhere on his profile. They're slipping my mind, but I know he put up a huge US tour, so
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. It's real.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Crown Magnetar dropped their new EP, Punishment. We had Dan from Crown Magnetar on the podcast. It is out now. We dropped it on Friday along with the EP drop. Been looking forward to having this band on the podcast for a while because I saw them open for Lorna Shore a few years ago, back when Lorna Shore did a 450 cap room in Philadelphia, and that 3-track EP, it just came out, and To the Hellfire was massive, and the tour sold out crazy, and now I'll never see them in a 500 cap room again. I saw Crown Magnetar on that tour, and since then I was a fan. I thought they were fucking dope. This EP is just 4 absolute ass beater songs, and that's what you get. You just get your ass beat for 12 minutes, and I love that. I think that's awesome.
That sounds like something I would want to listen to for sure. It's a great description.
I mean, that's how it was described in the interview too, because I was watching a little bit of it while I was editing it, and he was like, "We just wanted to make 4 tracks that absolutely beat the shit out of you, pretty much." Like,
and you're like,
and you did exactly that.
And you did that.
Yeah. I really like Barbed Wire Noose and Nail the Fuck Down.
Hell yeah, Nail the Fuck Down.
Yeah, hell yeah. But overall, like, every single track on here is an ass beater. It's short enough for me where, like, I'm okay with the no cleans at all across the board because it's just 12 minutes. So if I'm sitting down, I know what I'm getting myself into, number one, and number two, it's only 12 minutes long, so I'll be able to get through it. So there's not going to be any sort of like the fatigue that I get not being able to understand what's being said, which is a positive for me. So yeah, I think it's phenomenal. The assignment they went for, which is make 4 straight up ass beaters just to pummel the shit out of you. Mission accomplished. They crushed it. Couldn't be more happy with this.
Hell yeah. No, I completely echo everything you just said. I think it's a fucking crazy ass EP. It's in, it's out. Again, as I said with the Whitechapel, typically it's not my genre, but I can still definitely give kudos and say, fuck, I mean, this is incredible. They're very talented. Nailed the Fuck Down is my personal favorite off of the record. I think it's just fucking ass beaters. I don't know. I feel like my ass was beat.
Yeah.
That's it. Insane record. Check out the interview if you haven't already, and definitely go see them on tour, because I've heard so many incredible things about them. Not just from you, but when I posted that we interviewed them, I had like 3 people message me and be like, "Oh my god, their stage presence is so fucking." I'm like, "Damn!" It's like, fuck, I didn't know you guys like were out there like that. But okay. So yeah, no, go check them out. And check this EP out. It's fucking insane. Yeah,
they're on tour with Traders right now. We had Traders on the podcast as well. That's just a crazy bill. Those 2 bands back to back, someone's dying, be honest with you.
Someone's getting taken out of that pit. Like EMS will be called for sure. Yeah. Starset dropped their new single Dark Things. Starset, you're crazy. I love you though. I love you. I think this track is good. I mean, it's very Starset. It's big. I mean, it has the little electronic elements. It's heavy. It's great. Yeah, I have nothing. It's great. Yeah,
it's definitely a little bit different from what we've been getting from Starset. It's a little bit more laid back, but I think that's fucking awesome. The vibe of the track is perfectly encapsulated with the cover art, which I think is really cool as well. But yeah, overall, I'm enjoying this track a lot. I've been digging everything that Starset's been doing with whatever is coming next. There's been a bunch of singles, so I'd assume we're going to get something hopefully soon. But yeah, it's been cool. The song's cool. I'm stoked.
Damn straight.
Dying Wish dropped their new single, I Brought You My Soul, Your World Brought Me Despair. I love that title. It is so emo. I love that.
No, and that combined with the cover art, it feels very early 2000s. But the thing is, the cover art confuses me a little bit, but I like it because it confuses me, because every time I look at it, it looks like it would be like a hyperpop, like almost like a 100 Gex type cover. But then I listen to it and I'm like, you're screaming at me.
Yeah.
this is Dying Wish. What the fuck? So because it's so vastly different from, and this is just the cover art. I love the song. Let me just get that. I think the song is incredible. I love Dying Wish. But just because of how different it is and how it isn't kind of like that angsty, like metalcore thing vibe that everyone's going off of, it's so early 2000s, literally any other genre type cover art. I think it's fucking awesome. And I'm very excited. I think it's a great track.
Yeah, this track fucking rips. And I think Emma's cleans, especially on here, are phenomenal. That was something I was calling for around the last record, where, you know, the first record, I love that album, but there was only really one or two songs with her cleans. I thought she was crushing it with the cleans. So when the most recent record started rolling out, it was like, I remember saying right around, I think, the first single, I'm like, I hope there are more Emma cleans on the album, and there were, and it continues with the single big singing chorus. I love it. As much as I love that first record, I think that they really nail the more, like, obviously still a hardcore band at their core, but like leaning a little bit more into like that metalcore inspired type shit with some big singing choruses is where I really love them. But they're a phenomenal band. This song is no exception. I'm stoked to hear it in a month. Hopefully they play it live.
Countdown has begun. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Magnolia Park, Platinum, and Vanna dropped their new single Worship. I love Magnolia Park because before it even, like, 5 seconds into it, I know it's Magnolia Park. Even though they hop genres so frequently, they still have that Magnolia Park tinge to it. I think this song is fucking awesome. It's definitely something I could picture live, which is really cool. But again, I feel like that's just a lot of their shit because they always harness that energy and they drive it home, and they're just fucking awesome. Big Magnolia Park fan.
Hell yeah.
I think this track is awesome.
Yeah, this track is fucking awesome. Another single off their upcoming record dropping next month. I think it's fucking awesome. I've been digging all the singles so far, a little bit on the heavier side, which has been awesome. I think that the features on this especially are very solid, and overall just a fantastic track. Very excited for this album.
Mm-hmm.
Mayday Parade dropped their new single Towards You. Good old Mayday Parade. Good old Mayday Parade. All reliable.
I listened to it and I was like, fucking Mayday Parade, you did it again.
I didn't even have to listen to it to know exactly what it sounded like, and I love that. Mayday Parade, one of my favorite bands. This first of 3 albums we're apparently going to get this year, is something I'm very excited for, because of how much I love Mayday Parade. But I do love that you don't really have to listen to them to know what you're going to get. That's that's the charm.
Like.
That's the charm.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's charm is the perfect way to put it. It's like, oh, the old reliable old Mayday Parade. I fucking love them. Great song, Mayday Parade.
Yeah.
That's my review. Yeah. Plead From Within dropped their new single, God Complex. Fucks.
Yeah, this track fucking bumps. I'm a big fan of this. I'm very excited for this album coming out in April, beginning of April. I like this track especially. You know, we've started kind of covering the rollout here, and I think this is my favorite track so far. Just something about it, digging it. Very, very excited.
Very hype.
Hell yeah.
Damn straight.
Air Drawn Dagger dropped their new single Sanctifound. I like that I can say that with no problems, but the most basic word I look at it, I'm like, I don't know.
Sweating. Yeah. Can you write that out for me?
Yeah, can you sound that out for me, Gloria? I don't know how to say it.
This band has me so excited because the vocals just scratch that itch in my brain, and anything that's sung just gets caught in a loop. Like, I was just thinking of her vocals today, and it's just, fuck, man. There's a fucking gnat in my room. Sorry, it caught me off guard. It scared me a little bit. But yeah, great track. Vocals are insane though. They just, I don't know, just something about them. They just get me, you know.
The vocals, man. This band is awesome. This was a recent podcast discovery. They have an album coming out in April, top of April. Spoiler alert, we may or may not have had them on the show. And tracks like Castle, mainly Castle, you know, and I love all the singles off the album thus far, but that song for me in particular has been on repeat. Absolutely blew me the hell away. I'd seen this band on TikTok with Castle actually, and I went and like followed them and things like that. And I'm just blown away and totally in on this, and very excited for this album in a few weeks. it's going to be one of those ones like I've got my most anticipated of the artists that I know I really enjoy, and this is going to be one of those like if it wasn't for this thing that we do, I would never have found this band. But and yes, I found them on TikTok first, but I just went and followed them. I didn't go listen to any of their shit. If it wasn't, and that's just
that's so aggressively.
And
no,
that's,
I know
and
what
that's
you
just
mean.
because it was 12 a.m. and I got an ad for them, and I was like, I don't want to listen to new music right now. I want to watch stupid TikToks, but this band is dope. I'll come back to them at some point. And I didn't have to. Someone told me that I should check them out, and I did. They're going to be one of those bands where if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have found it, and it's going to be one of my favorite albums of the year. I can almost feel it. So I'm very excited for this record to finally hear it. All that to say, I'm excited for the album.
Hell yeah. All right, yeah. Fuck with it. Hot Milk dropped their new fucking single, 90 Seconds to Midnight. I kept wanting to say second.
Yeah.
Seconds, because
it's
now I can't read.
Yeah.
Great song. I love Hot Milk. We interviewed them
about their last record
eons ago. Yeah. That was like fucking 3 years ago.
Red Era 2023. 2023. Okay, because I remember at the end of the interview, we were talking about maybe seeing them at a Jason Fest. I was talking about it, and it turned out that they were overlapping with water parks, and Hannah was like, you don't have to fucking lie to us. You can just admit that you're gonna see water parks, and I'm like, you're right. It's kind of like one of the main reasons I bought the fucking ticket. Yeah, you're
sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Austin Knight has me in a chokehold.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I didn't see Hot Milk there. But they announced their new record. It comes out in June. They're going to be over here with Magnolia Park. Very exciting. You should go to that because South Arcade is also going to be on that bill, as well as Savage Hands. It's a great bill. But those couple of UK bands, Hot Milk and South Arcade, are fucking amazing. And I'm liking this album a lot because this single in particular is so heavy. A little bit more out of left field than what we typically would get from Hot Milk, although they always kind of lean into that chaos. I feel like they don't always go as heavy with it. It's just very chaos vocals, but this track is also heavy on top of that. And I'm digging it. I'm digging it big time.
Hells yeah. I just fucking love this band. Anything they do, I'm just happy with.
Hell yeah. Thornhill dropped their new single Tongues. New album drops in a few weeks here as well. April's going to be very, 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 very busy. This track fucks, be honest with you. Straight fucks.
Yeah, straight fucks. No, I mean, again, Thornhill's kind of on a good run right now where it's just all their songs are just hitting. And this is one of them. I think they're just a fucking great band. They have great production. They have great lyrics. Just fucking good listening. Good noise.
Good noise. Yeah, these singles have, I obviously enjoyed the last record. We had Jacob on to chat about it, but these singles are like leaving a little bit more of a lasting impression with me than that album did. That's no offense to the record. I think that album's phenomenal, and what it did for the band it's very clear why it did what it did. That album was fantastic, but for me, this is just hitting me at the right time where I think I'm going to come away really enjoying this album. Probably going to see them when they come through. It's probably now because one of my friends is having a show, at literally the same day. So TBD on that, but I'm hoping to. Now it's a hope.
Now it's a hope.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
TX2 dropped his new single, Infamous. I love TX2. I've loved almost all of the tracks that he's dropped so far. This is not my favorite. Something about it. Maybe it's his tone. It feels like the slur drop feels a little gimmicky now. Because I think he did it on like another song, so now it just kind of feels like half-assed.
It's all over my For You page right now. I can't even lie.
Because that's all he's posting about it. I do enjoy his music. I've liked a lot of his singles. I fucking loved the EP he dropped. We were raving about that for like fucking like 8-10 minutes straight. But this song, it just didn't do it for me. It just didn't hit. I won't go in. I won't trash it, but
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. It hit for me. I can't even
I
lie. I
know
think
it
the
fucking
song's
did. I
fucking
know it
dope.
did.
I think it's dope as shit. It came out on like a random Tuesday. I thought it was New Music Friday. I was so fucking excited. I opened my Spotify at 12 a.m. That track was sitting right there. I'm like, dude, this is a great
I'll
New
take
Music
it.
Friday. Turns out it was a Tuesday, but this track is fucking dope. I just think it's awesome. I like when TX2 goes a little bit more just like straight up metal versus like trying to be weird and out of the box, although I think his weird out of the box stuff is cool and what makes him interesting as an artist. But I do like when he goes a little bit more just straight up down the lane, at least instrumentally. Not so, maybe not so much lyrically. You know, his lyrics are always kind of out of the box. There's been a couple of songs that have been like just, oh, like this is actually kind of tame for TX2. So Numb comes to mind in particular. But yeah, I'm digging this track. No irony, no pun intended. I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Ghost dropped their new single, Satanized. Now, every single time we talk about Ghost, I'm like, why aren't they heavy? And I could say that again because every time I look at this band, I'm like, you could be so fucking dope if you were just would down tune your guitars and just play
It's
a fucking breakdown.
The same thing with Spirit. Nope. It's the same
Sleep
thing
Token.
Sleep Token.
And Sleep Token, they've been teasing. They've got arenas in the U.S. Believe it or not, teasing a tour. And I Lord only knows what the support's going to be on that. I could possibly be there. I don't know.
Dude, you're not going to be there because it's going to sell out in like 2 seconds.
And you underestimate my ability to spend way too much money for a band I don't really care for. A band I don't care about because a band I like is opening for them. You underestimate my ability to do that, and you should know me better at this point.
You're right. You know, and that's fair. And I'm sitting back. I get it. I hear you.
But if there are no bands on that bill that I like, I will not be going. I will watch from afar. Exactly. I'll leave it at that because I am not a Sleep Token fan.
Yeah.
But Ghost, I say it every time. I'm not going to say it this time because I think that this song is fucking dope, and I'm finally starting to understand what Ghost is trying to accomplish. They're not trying to be this super heavy, super duper heavy band with big breakdowns as much as I would love them to be because they look the part. I'll stop. I think this song is really cool though.
So much potential.
There's so much potential, but I think this song is really cool. I heard it for the first time driving around listening to Octane, and I was like, I'll leave it on. Typically I would turn off Ghost just because I'm not a massive fan of the previous stuff, mainly that preconceived notion of God, I wish they were heavier, but I was like, we're going to be covering this song, I might as well hear what it's about. And I think it's really cool. I'm honestly digging it. But I also went into it with an open mind, being like, dude, you're gonna sound like an asshole if you're just like, why aren't they heavy? So I went into it with an open mind. I think it's cool. Won't go see them live because they take your phone away. They make you put it in a pouch.
How have I seen so many sexy TikToks of the Ant-Man? I don't know what his name is. I say this like the last time they were touring, like 2024 or something. It's like I always see because he does the thing with the guitar where he's like stroking it.
Yeah.
He's stroking it, and then the confetti comes out.
Yeah.
So it's like, how the hell? Maybe you get it in the pit or something. I don't know.
It's a phone-free experience.
So I don't even know if the man is sexy. I don't know. I just kind of broad. That's what the community says. So I'm repeating their words. No, I thought this track was great. I'm a big fan of Mariana Cross. I was gonna say Ghost. I know the one song. Yeah. I like the one song. Yeah. But I think this is a great one to add to the catalog. So now I like 2 songs.
Look at that.
Ghost, you're on a roll. You're on a roll. Because honestly, it kind of has this similar melody of Mariana Cross. Just not like the whole thing, but just there's a part that kind of tickles that little enjoyment of Mariana Cross. Very excited. I like it a lot. Big fan. Sharia Moore dropped the new single, Release Me. Sharia Moore, I love you so much. I love you so much, Sharia Moore. This song is incredible. Not just glazing, just to glaze. Genuinely, this song is so fucking good. Trey does like a little like vocal riff that just hits that fucking like R&B nerve that I have in my brain from growing up with strictly just like gospel. So it made me go, fuck, this was a crazy ass riff. Holy shit, I am the target audience for this. This is so exciting. I love this band so much. Genuinely, I think all of their songs are fucking incredible. If you have not listened to Sharia Moore yet, you need to. This band is so fucking good. This song popped off on TikTok, which is so exciting for them.
Hell
They
yeah.
have a silly little dance to go with it. It's like a little body roll. I don't understand it, but I hope people do it. I will not because I don't dance at shows. I maybe like do like a little like girly pop bounce, but I
Yeah.
only do that to like super heavy shit just to like piss people off. No one's pissed off. No one's looking at me. But I like the song a lot. I love Sheree Moore. Huge.
Hell yeah. This song is fucking awesome. Been seeing it a lot on my timeline. Very excited always for new Sharia Moore, but I like this song in particular. You know, it's got a little heavy, it's a little bounce. I'm digging it. I like it a lot more than the last single, because although I like that song, it did kind of feel like it was like 2 minutes and kind of just came and went and didn't kind of feel like it was it felt like it had so much more potential, and
It was eons.
yes, eons, and was very very kind of feature heavy as well.
It was. Yeah.
Which
it was like a 50-50.
yeah, and that coupled with the fact it wasn't super long made me just feel like there was more that could have been there with that song, although for what the song was, I think it accomplished what they were trying to go for. You know, but this song, I'm digging this one a lot. It's more up my alley of what I would normally listen to, and just is a little bit longer, and I like that as well. It's dope. I'm digging it big time. I'm excited for this new era of Sharia Moore for sure.
You and me both.
Hell yeah.
You and me both. Yeah.
Kill the Lights dropped their new single Nothing Left. No idea what this is from, you know, where this is coming from. They just put out that new record last year, and new music already. It's very exciting stuff. I think that this rips. Kill the Lights always knocks out of the park, especially the singles, because they're, you know, they lean a little bit heavier with the singles, and I'm digging this.
Hell yeah. No, I think this is great. I'm a big fan of Kill the Lights. So it's always good seeing them on the little list, in the little playlist. I called it a list because, you know, like, I don't have to say that thing, you know? Chill like that. So yeah, great band. Very, very happy to see them kind of doing shit, even though, as you said, it hasn't been long at all. You guys can, like, chill a little bit, you know?
Take a breather.
Not mad, though. Not mad.
I'm not either.
Barry Tomorrow dropped their new single, Waiting.
Yes,
Great
they
song.
did.
I fuck with Barry Tomorrow. Heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, this track fucking rips. I'm digging it. I think it rocks. New album comes out in May, which is very exciting. You know, they announced it so long ago. It felt like it was forever ago, and now it'll be here before you know it, which is very cool. Very exciting stuff. I need to hear the entire record, because, as I said, it was announced so long ago, and we have so many singles. But the singles have all been great, and this is no exception, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
Have I said I'm excited?
No, you haven't.
I'm excited.
Oh, okay.
Jazzed even.
Jazzed. I fucking love using, like, it like shocks people sometimes because it's just not a common thing to say. But I'm jazzed.
Yeah.
You know?
Running out of ways to say I'm excited, so I'm jazzed.
Stoked.
Stoked as hell. Hell yeah.
Sorry, go for it.
Scowl dropped a new single tonight, I'm Afraid. Been fucking with all the stuff off the upcoming Scowl record, which also drops at the beginning of next month. As I said, next month is going to be bonkers. Been digging it. I feel like I explain it every time with Scowl. You know, kind of liked the first record, but was kind of unsure of why everybody was going crazy. I listened to most of that first record because they were opening for Limp Bizkit, and then that EP they put out really got me stoked on the band, and now they're kind of expanding on that sound while also doing new things, pulling some things from that first record, pulling from some things from that most recent EP, and you building on all of that and making this what is going to be this new album. That's got me very excited because I like the amalgamation of the sounds versus just what they were doing on the first album.
Yeah.
So I like it. I'm very excited to hear this album in full in a little bit here.
Damn straight. No, I fucking love Scowl. The last couple of tracks have been great, and I'm just very excited. I don't know. I'm jazzed. I'm stoked. I'm excited.
Hell yeah, brother.
I ran out. The Somerset dropped their new single. I don't want to party. I don't know if that's how they intended. It could be I don't want to party, but I don't know. I wanted to add some fucking sass.
I want to party.
I don't want to party. Okay, you don't have to party.
That's fine. More partying for us.
My fucking review. You don't have to fucking party. Okay, whatever. I wasn't gonna fucking make you. I just invited you, and that's fine. You don't have to come. Um, I think I think it's a great track. I do. I enjoy the summer set. I feel like it's been a second since I've heard them. Um, and it's great to see them popping up again. I don't know. I have a very soft spot for this band. I don't listen to them frequently, but I think it's just kind of the era that I discovered them, and the era that their last record came out. And we interviewed them in when we were younger. And again, it's just I just have a very soft spot for them. So when I see their little faces pop up or I see their name, I just go, "Oh, the Somerset, yeah." So great song. I think they're awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm digging this track as well. It has definitely been a minute since the last time we heard from them in terms of new music. But I think this track smashes. You know, it's very much what I would expect from the Somerset, and I like that. And I like that whatever is happening is starting to roll out as the weather is getting warmer, because this is like the pinnacle of a warm weather band. So like new Somerset, new Grayscale, that shit's gonna be on repeat. So I'm excited. This is the perfect timing for stuff to start rolling out.
They're doing so good. Yeah.
But that's all the topics we have today. You can follow us on Twitter. It's Good Noise _cast. Instagram's Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. YouTube is Good Noise Podcast. All the audio streaming services are Good Noise Podcast. And Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Glory's got your Patreon supporters, your Twitch subs, your important plugs, your merch store plug, your Amazon storefront plug, and then we're going to sign off.
Check out our merch. It is goodnoisepodcast.creator-spring.com. Get yourself a hoodie, a beanie, a sticker, pin, socks, maybe? I don't know. Figure it out.
Shout out to socks if we have them.
Shout out to socks. If we have them, I might actually order some. You know how I feel about my socks, man.
You guys should see Glory's sock drawer. It's crazy.
Dude, I have like 2 full drawers. I have one drawer of socks that are unopened, and then I have another drawer of socks that are in the rotation, right? Active rotation. Fucking crazy. I think I've spent like close to maybe like $300 on just socks, maybe more. I don't know. I love socks, and they're all like fucking branded and shit. I'm wearing Top Ramen. I'm wearing the chili on my left, and then I'm wearing the shrimp one on my right.
That's awesome.
That's today's sock.
Glory sends me every single time she sees Peanuts one, she sends them to me.
I say, get to Dollar Tree now. Have you?
No, I don't leave my house. I'm just like, that's awesome.
That's so cool. Yeah. Snoopy on a sock, crazy. So socks, we don't have them. I'll tell you right, we don't have them. And I'm sorry, I've dropped the ball on that. We should fucking have socks.
We should have socks.
Check out our Amazon storefront. It has all of our equipment that we use to create the podcast: monitors, mics, cameras, ring lights, etc., etc. Thank you to our Patreon supporters: Matt from Pulses, Pop Punk Apologist, David Arrington, Tyson from Heal the Hurt, and Eric. And thank you to our Twitch sub, Matt, again from Pulses. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thick and thin.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Important plugs. Black Lives Matter. Stop Asian hate. Be a decent person. It's getting a little scary out there. Look out for each other. Keep shows safe. If someone's being a fucking asshole, just tell security. Rather you just instead of escalating it, this is just me. Just if you feel the need to escalate it, some things do need to be escalated. I'll put that out there. But typically, just get them out of the fucking show, Just in general, keep shows safe. It's a safe haven. It should be a safe haven. And support local bands. Say hi to them after shows if you can. Be a decent person. And, look out for each other out there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, that's all the topics we have today. I have been Shane.
I've been Glory.
And we have been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.